Donald Trump promised to end the Ukraine war in 24 hours, but over 100 days later, there's still no breakthrough in sight. Despite Washington's frantic shuttle diplomacy with Moscow and its reality show bickering with Ukrainian leadership, it is as difficult as ever to achieve agreement. And while Russia and Ukraine have arranged to meet in Turkey for talks, few expect an agreement to be signed anytime soon. So why is peace out of reach? And was Trump's plan ever realistic? The first problem is simple. Russia and Ukraine disagree on too many important stuff. Back in early 2022, there may have been room for compromise, like Ukraine limiting its military in exchange for a Russian withdrawal. But now, both sides have buried tens of thousands of soldiers. The stakes have risen. So have the demands. Russia still wants to neutralize Ukraine as a military force, which would put Ukraine under the Russian influence. Vladimir Putin also wants full control over 4 Ukrainian regions it only partially holds. And no Western troops in Ukraine, ever. For Ukraine, those demands are non-starters. Ukraine won't give up land, military independence, or its ties to the West, even if NATO membership stays on hold. Next problem, neither Russia nor Ukraine is desperate enough to stop the war. Yes, the costs are staggering. Lives lost, billions spent, but neither government is on the verge of collapse. Ukraine spends nearly 40% of its economy on defense. It has close to 1 million soldiers at the front. However, it can rely on Western financial aid and has a large enough pool of manpower to maintain its army. Ukraine, for example, still hasn't started conscripting people under the age of 25 due to concerns about the country's demographics. Ukraine and Europe believe the war isn't existential for Russia, and that as economic pressure mounts, Moscow may eventually ease its maximalist demands. Russia, meanwhile, trades oil for cash, gets supplies through China, and believes time is on its side. Every month it hopes to inch forward and wear down the patience of the West and Ukraine. Even if both sides wanted a deal, they don't trust each other to honor it. Russia knows that Trump may only serve one term and that he may well lose Congress in the 2026 election. So why give up ground today if Washington changes its mind tomorrow? Ukraine won't agree to anything unless the West, ideally NATO, acts as a guarantor. Someone powerful enough to step in if Moscow breaks its word. Here's the final obstacle. Pressure works in one direction. The West can force Ukraine to make concessions, but not Russia. Sanctions hurt, yes. However, Russia still earns billions from energy exports and gets the technology and other vital items it needs from neutral countries, especially China. So Putin can survive without the West and is therefore immune to Western ultimatums, at least for now. All these obstacles may not make peace impossible, but they certainly make it more elusive. Russia refuses to give up its territorial claims easily. Ukraine doesn't accept a puppet status or partial surrender. Neither can defeat the other outright. Ukraine lacks the capacity to crush a nuclear-armed Russia, and Moscow doesn't have the manpower to conquer major Ukrainian cities. The only factor that might shift is time. As the war drags on, Russia's economy could suffer from inflation, falling oil prices, and mounting war costs. Mass mobilization will make that worse. At the same time, Ukraine and its allies may start to weigh the long-term toll and consider deals they once rejected. So why has Trump failed to bring Russia and Ukraine to the table? Because this isn't just about America or Biden or Trump or even clever diplomacy. It's about warring, emotionally charged governments trying to justify the losses they've suffered to achieve what they believe will determine the fate of their peoples for centuries to come. And for now, it looks like both sides believe they have more to gain on the battlefield than at the negotiating table.